Hello everyone, and welcome to a follow-up video with me, Rays. Yesterday I posted a video where quite I feel rightly so, I was definitely pretty damn angry about something that had happened in Brave Exvius on the JP side. Now, for those who didn't watch the video, even though there were a ton of you who watched the video, and thank you for the support. What happened basically was something very uncharacteristic for a person, a producer, who has to answer to somebody. And that was basically Hirano, who is the producer of FFBE on the JP side, said during the TGS livestream that apparently the higher up executives, which are either from Dena, someone higher than him at Alum, someone higher at him at Gummy, because Gummy actually owns Alum. I believe that's the way it's been explained to me before. But even if, it doesn't matter really who the executives are, it was someone higher than Hirano who said that they were unhappy with the number of tickets that have been given out to JP, and that they were going to be introducing a new type of ticket after the TGS livestream. Now, we found out that these new gift tickets, which honestly are just regular tickets with the title gift attached to them, that have expiration dates and cannot be used on regular banners, were the new type of tickets. Now, something that needs to be made perfectly clear is at the time, nothing was set in stone. These tickets were being sent out as a test, and that they would not necessarily reflect anything else in the game at that point. Well, less than 24 hours later, it feels like, well, okay, maybe, I guess it's around, we'll call it around 24 hours later, we have gotten our answer that has come from directly from the official Twitter, which is basically this. I noticed that all future gift tickets that were normally given out through out-of-game events such as the raid rewards or the raid challenge or anything like that will now be these new gift tickets. Now, let me explain something. First of all, this has nothing to do with the global side or the way that global is handled or anything like this. Basically, pretty much since the game has begun, we have had live streams on the JP side every month. By all of us coming together on the JP side and spending our raid orbs at the same time and trying to do enough damage, we are rewarded a certain number of regular tickets. This is something that has been going on for the longest time. Basically since the game began, when the rates were, let's face it, worse. And hell, even back then, you couldn't get a rainbow that was guaranteed to be a rainbow. Hey, remember troll rainbows? I certainly do. But the point is that this is something that has been being done since the beginning of the game. It's not something that is like extra. Like the TGS tickets, honestly, I didn't really give too much of a crap about, because while the tickets are definitely, I think, considerably worse because they have an expiration date, we have seen this on the JP side before. Take either Global or JP's anniversary tickets, which are based on how much Lapis you've spent in the game. Those tickets were on a limited time banner that you could only be used, and they were on off rate. And those are extra tickets, and I think that is fine. What I'm not okay with is removing regular tickets from the game, especially tickets that have been given out since the game was not very generous to begin with. Normally with gacha games, over time periods, they become more generous to keep players playing for a long time. And honestly, I mean, the demands in, like, for instance, Brave Exvius have become more demanding since the game started. It used to be in the time that a 6-star, a unit that could get the 6-star was good enough. And now you need a 7-star, which is basically 2 copies of the same unit, and we're even creeping into the territory of needing super TMRs. All of this kind of requires us to need more of these units that are still pretty damn freaking rare. And now you're taking away just basic tickets, and let's be honest here. Basic tickets do not have good odds on them. The average is, it's basically 3% to get a rainbow off a regular normal ticket. And that puts you at about, every 33 tickets. So 10 tickets a month it seems like a bad thing to cut back. And let me just make this perfectly clear, the problem I have with this. It's taking something that was already in the game that was just kind of okay, that was a nice benefit for watching your, let's face it, very long live streams with a lot of fluff and not that much content a lot of the time. And now you're just saying, well, we're not giving you those gifts anymore. I think that this is the real problem here, is that this is undeniable greed. And I get it. Alum's business might not be doing quite as well as they want to, but I don't think that this is the right way. This isn't like something I think that's going to help the game. For one thing, I don't think it's going to make free-to-players, want to spend more money in your game, because hell, if you're making things worse now, who's to say you won't make things more difficult for us in the future? It creates this level of distrust. Second thing that I really just think about this is that, like, taking 10 tickets away, 10 tickets a month, for mid-level players like myself, I am not someone who enjoys or who doesn't spend a ton of money on this game. I do spend some money, especially on banners that I like with interesting units like Regina. Like, I was perfectly happy to go at that step up and lose miserably. But, I mean, there is something that kind of makes this game palatable for me for spending money, and that is having the tickets. Being able to hoard tickets for a time when I want to spend them, when a step-up banner fails, because honestly, there are still those, 11K step-up banners where you can just totally miss on everything, and then you're left with nothing, and that just feels bad at this point in the game. Like, most 6-star copies of 5-star base units are not worth anything in terms of meta or challenges or anything for players who have been playing the game for a long time. Maybe the TMR is somewhat valuable, but I mean, really subjectively, it's not something that I think is a positive thing to do. And because I always try to be a fair person when I am not just, in the heat of the moment, so to speak, let's take into the consideration of what could happen during the 3rd anniversary that could make this, a little bit more palatable. One, honestly, a big thing that they could do is just give, a higher rainbow rate. Rainbows are really starting to just be more needed, and I don't think even the 5% makes enough difference at, if super TMRs are going to be needed. And hell, what if in the future we see a higher level unit that is once again more difficult to get? There's only so much you can push it before people just get too frustrated. We could see in general there are more ways to get tickets in the game. In other words, maybe Mog Kings get, 15 regular tickets in the future. But I don't think that this is, while I'm trying to be fair to the idea that there could be something better on the way because the 3rd anniversary is right around the corner for the JP side, I think that leading with this is a stupid idea. One that's going to potentially frustrate a lot more people than it's going to alleviate. The idea of getting from special events gift tickets, fine. I think that's okay. But my main worry is this, that it's going to start replacing regular tickets. This is essentially just greed to an unlikable level. When you have to, I mean, if the game is in such a bad spot that it needs to start going, listen, we give you 10 regular tickets a month. We've been doing it for 2 years now. Well, 2.5, like almost 3 years now. And we can't just do that anymore. That feels like a major red flag to me. Like it's just a really bad taste in your mouth. And who knows? This may not be the end of it. We could see this I mean, they've already taken it back from some of this stuff. Is it going to start taking away from other stuff in the near future? How much is Alum concerned about us getting a ton of regular tickets? Because off-banner tickets kind of suck. If you look at the unit pool of the 5-star base, off a 5-star EX ticket, you have a pretty good chance of getting as much of a good chance, I would say almost, of getting a worthless unit as you do of getting a good unit nowadays. take like 50% of the rainbows in that pool, most of them, their TMR isn't even that good anymore. The unit itself, a lot of the times, is not super useful. So a random one out of a pool that, you know, just doesn't is everly increasingly getting bigger, where more units in the past are just getting outdated by newer units and, you know, can't even compete in a lot of the new trials or are a lot more difficult. I think it's just a general increase in the level of frustration. But the reason that I'm doing this video is because of this announcement that has come out. This is definitely what I was worried about, because this is no longer just being like, well, this is an event. This is a TGS event, and we're giving you gift tickets. Okay, well, now, and it could be that in my last video, I didn't explain my feelings about the topic well enough. But now that we are seeing something where regular tickets are being taken away from something that was basically done for about 2.5 years, it's a little bit more of a problem for me, and I'm definitely starting to get just feeling that unbelievable level of frustration. And if you want to know just kind of what has happened that is was a precursor to this, apparently because the raid event happened earlier in the month, well, they're going to give the option on Twitter of, what they're going to do for the raid rewards challenge that can't happen now. And the option were 10 gift tickets, 30 10 energy pots, or 3 million gil. First of all, 3 million gil is fucking insulting at this point. That is a 7-star. Anyone who's been playing the game long enough has a massive stockpile of gil, and getting gil isn't that necessarily that difficult if you just play the raids. I mean, yeah, you may have a backlog of 7 stars, but so long as you are focusing your gil on important areas in your team, not having a huge amount of gil isn't that big of a problem a lot of the time. Energy pots, you get energy pots every day. 30 energy pots is 300 energy. Definitely not bad for some people, but for the most part, you're eventually going to get a stockpile of them and really have nothing to do with them. So this is something that I do not like either, because first of all, it's not the 10 gifts. It's in this case, it's not even the fact that we are getting, 10, we're getting those 10 regular tickets stolen away from us, although that still makes me pretty angry. And we're giving these 10 gift tickets which have expiration dates. Either spend them and get, potentially nothing, or just let them expire and then they'll disappear off your account anyway. It's that the options are so bad in this. This is basically, you are going to take what we give you and you're going to like it, or we're going to take it, we're just going to give you something worse. It's insulting. It's rude. I don't appreciate it. And to be fair, I'm going to say one thing to all the global players watching this. Look, I get that you guys have had some rough, stupid fucking shit from Gummy. Listen to the tone of my voice. I really understand that you have had some unexcusable shit. To be fair, I have 100% agreed with all of the times when something unreasonable has happened, such as the cash summon for a guaranteed 5-star. That was 100% bullshit. Or Gummy's treatment recently with the UOCs and everything, that units won't be added to the UOC pool until after their rate up banner is gone. That hasn't happened on the JCP side. It shouldn't be happening on the global side either. I have definitely come up, definitely supported you guys in some of the crap, some of the crap that has happened to you is not okay. This is on the JP side, and listen, we have been around longer. Our game should be more generous than your game, and when you catch up to us, that version should be as generous to you guys as what it is for us right now, right? I think that's for the most part, pretty fair. And if it's a little bit better for you guys, great. That's even awesomer. I really want you guys to have I want us all to have this great, fun game that we can all just enjoy. when the community attacks one another over shit like this, when you guys come at, when people write comments that say, you guys are entitled, this is why I hate game communities, because this reason, this reason, this reason, it just, like, we shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves. We should not be putting up with this shit. I don't want this to happen to the global side, which I believe your summer tickets are something along this line too. This should not be happening to either side. And if they want to give gift tickets for events like Fan Festa and everything like that, okay, I think that's perfectly fair. But I don't think that we should be having this kind of situation where we're getting stuff taken away from us that was always there. And so this is a bit more of a concern now, and while I'm not jumping ship yet, as I've said on Reddit, I'm definitely eyeing the lifeboats. So honestly, you guys, try and remember here who is really behind this, the higher ups of that make the decisions behind this game. This is their basic greed, trying to get more money out of us. And I think that it's just probably going to cause a little bit too much frustration. But I hope we can get through this, and honestly, I hope we can get back to this game, because you know what? I still like this game. I think most of you still enjoy playing this game and have some fun with it. But for me, who spends money, I'm definitely going to be thinking like a lot more about when I spend money on this game, if this is going to be the continuing trend that things are not getting better. But we'll wait for the 3rd anniversary, and then we will really, I guess, figure out where the chips lie. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all doing wonderful, and I will see you next time.